for more than a century. A single number has refused to sit quietly in the background of human history. The average brain of Homo neanderthalensis was at least as large as that of Homo sapiens, and often slightly larger. In raw volume, measured in cubic centimeters, they should not have been the lesser mind. If intelligence were a matter of size alone, the story of prehistory might have ended very differently. But brain size is a blunt instrument. What matters is not just how much neural tissue you possess, but how it is arranged, what it prioritizes, and what kind of world it evolved to master. The Neanderthal skull was long and low, stretched backward rather than rounded into the globular shape seen in modern humans. That difference in architecture hints at a difference in wiring. Endocasts, virtual reconstructions of the brain's imprint inside fossil skulls, suggest that more neural real estate may have been devoted to visual processing and bodily control. They lived in a world that demanded acute spatial awareness, rapid reaction at close range, and the ability to read subtle cues in harsh, shifting landscapes. Imagine what their days required. Ice Age Europe was not forgiving. Winds cut across open steppe. Herds moved unpredictably. Predators competed for the same prey. Hunting was not conducted at a safe distance, with finely engineered projectile weapons launched from afar. Much of the evidence suggests close encounters, thrusting spears into massive animals at dangerous proximity. That kind of life selects for a brain that can calculate trajectories instantly, coordinate powerful muscle groups, and track movement across complex terrain. A mind built for immediacy. A mind tuned to the physics of survival. And yet, somewhere in that same frozen world, small bands of early modern humans were weaving something different. Their skulls, more rounded, reflect an expansion in regions associated with complex social cognition. They were building wider networks, exchanging materials across surprising distances, standardizing tools in ways that suggest shared conventions. Their survival strategy may not have relied solely on what an individual could perceive and execute in the moment, but on how effectively information moved between many individuals across time and space. In unstable climates, that difference becomes critical. When temperatures swing rapidly and familiar hunting grounds fail, a tightly knit but isolated group has few options. A broader network, however, can absorb shocks. If one band starves, another might share resources. If one region collapses, knowledge from elsewhere can guide migration. Intelligence, in that sense, is not merely what happens inside a skull. It is distributed across relationships. It scales with trust. The Neanderthal brain was not primitive. It was expensive. Their bodies were dense with muscle, their bones thick, their caloric demands immense. A large brain layered onto a powerful frame requires steady energy. During periods of ecological stability, that cost can be sustained. During prolonged scarcity, it becomes a liability. Evolution does not reward brilliance in isolation. It rewards efficiency under pressure. A brain that excels in immediate physical problem-solving may struggle if the broader game shifts toward long-distance coordination and symbolic complexity. Still, the story is not one of simple replacement. Genetic evidence reveals that Neanderthals did not vanish into absolute extinction. When modern humans spread into their territories, there was contact, and not only conflict. Interbreeding occurred. Today, many people carry a small percentage of Neanderthal DNA, fragments that continue to influence immune responses, skin adaptation, and perhaps aspects of neurological variation. They are not ghosts erased from the ledger of life. They persist subtly within the architecture of our own cells. So the mystery of the Neanderthal brain is not a question of whether it was inferior. It was formidable, specialized, and honed by hundreds of thousands of years in brutal environments. The deeper question is whether intelligence is best measured by solitary capability or by collective reach. One lineage invested heavily in the individual body and its immediate world. The other increasingly externalized cognition into networks, symbols, and shared memory. When we look at a Neanderthal skull beside our own, we are not looking at failure. We are looking at an alternative solution to being human, a mind shaped for closeness, for direct confrontation with a cold and dangerous planet. Our path diverged, but not completely. Part of their neural legacy still hums quietly within us. The Ice Age did not silence them entirely. It folded them into the species that would one day wonder how such a large brain could ever have disappeared.